There is something weird about the Trek CarBack radar, and I'll get to that later in this video, but first, the Trek CarBack is a safety device designed to increase cyclist awareness of approaching vehicles. It features an integrated light and radar system that, according to Trek, detects cars from up to 240 meters away. So the way it works, you mount this radar system to your seat post and it communicates with compatible bike computers or their smartphone app to provide visual and audio alerts when vehicles are approaching from behind. Garmin Varia is a similar device that has been around for many years. It's one of those gadgets I never go out riding without, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, Trek has introduced a CarBack, which is a great name by the way, and I give them that. But essentially it offers the same functionality as the Varia radar, and the Trek CarBack retails for $200 here in the US. It is ANT Plus and Bluetooth compatible and can be paired with the Trek app or supported by computers like Garmin or Wahoo Element. The Trek CarBack has a 2000 milliamp hour battery, and according to Trek, it should last around 7 hours, though this can vary depending on traffic and how often it alerts you to incoming vehicles. And charging takes about 3 to 4 hours via USB-C. And the cool thing about the CarBack is there is a battery indicator, so once you press that power button, you will see how much battery you have left on the device, which is pretty cool. The CarBack weighs 87 grams, and just for comparison, the Varia weighs around 72 grams, so the CarBack is noticeably heavier and even thicker, but the Garmin Varia is longer, as you see here, but is also not as thick, and actually you can feel the heavier weight of the CarBack. So, in the box, the radar comes with a USB-C charger and a Trek blender mount, which frankly isn't a great mount. I'm just not a fan of that mount. And the integrated light is a Trek Flare light, which is great by the way, and is very bright. And pressing the power button cycles you through the 4 different light mode options. And speaking of the Garmin Varia, it detects vehicles approaching from behind up to 140 meters away, while the Trek CarBack claims to detect up to 240 meters away. So according to the specs, the Trek should detect vehicles well before the Garmin does. Now, putting these claims aside, I expect the radar to function reliably and be trustworthy. This is a safety device after all, and it just needs to work and work well every time. And I have been using the Garmin Varia for many years, and I trust this device completely. It hasn't failed me once. So naturally, I wanted to see how the Trek radar compares to the Varia in the real world. So putting these claims aside, I wanted to test the radar ability to detect vehicles and check the consistency of alerts on various roads and in different environments. And here's what I found. On a perfect road, and I mean by perfect is flat and straight, the radar seems to work well. It detects vehicles just fine, and in most cases it detects incoming vehicles before Garmin does. Now here's the thing. The roads I ride on are not very straight. There are a lot of bends. The Garmin handles these roads just fine and has been very consistent. However, the Trek CarBack does not perform as well on these type of roads. In almost all instances, it detected cars second after Garmin's radar. In many cases, the car was already halfway through Varia's detection area until it was detected by Trek. And like you see here in this example, you can see, and I'm going to pause the video here for a little bit, the car is already halfway through Garmin's detection area until Trek detected the car. And by the time it was detected, the car was already very close to me, and within a few seconds it passed me. And as I was trying to show here in this video, the road had a slight curve to it, nothing crazy, and we're not talking about 90-degree bends or anything crazy like that. I can go through a number of footage like this where the CarBack took a while to detect the vehicle throughout my rides. I also noticed a few phantom detections, meaning it showed there was a car like you see here in this example, but there was actually only one car behind me, but the Trek was showing me 2 dots. The second dot disappeared after a few seconds, and here's another issue. If a car slows down behind you waiting for a safe opportunity to pass, like in this scenario, the car just totally disappeared from Trek's radar as you see, and I got all green, where the Varia on the element room bike computer continued to alert me to the vehicle behind me. Personally, I think this is plain dangerous because it gives a false sense of security by not showing there is a car still behind you. Did the vehicle stop or possibly made a turn? So not having the Varia telling me there is a car, I would have thought the car made a stop or made a turn and would have probably made a decision thinking there is no car behind me anymore. Another issue I noticed is that when the CarBack is paired to the Trek app, I experience frequent disconnection from my bike computer. Initially, I didn't know why this was happening and I thought it was a fluke, but then it happened again after a few miles, and then again and again. My phone was turned off and in my back pocket. Then I decided to open the phone and completely close out of the Trek app, and the disconnection issues went away. So it's not that big of a deal. But I found that strange because the CarBack connects via Bluetooth to the phone and ANT Plus to the bike computer. So this seemed like an issue that could be resolved with a firmware update. Back to the detection issue mystery thing. According to Garmin, the Varia detection angle is 40 degrees. So with some trigonometry and help from ChatGPT, the width of the detection area at 140 meters is approximately 102 meters. Now, I could not find the detection angle for Trek, but I was able to find this graph illustration in their manual. And per the information provided in this graph, the detection area at 240 meters away is only 60 meters. So at 140 meters, which is half the detection distance of the Trek, you are only looking at around 30 to 35 meters versus the 102 meters you get with Garmin. That's significant and possibly explains why Trek was way behind Garmin's in detecting cars. So that is a good example of when advertising and the specs on a product can be deceiving and just does not tell you the full story. So here's the thing. The Trek CarBack offers some features that I like. For example, the battery indicator is a nice addition and a nice touch. The USB-C port for charging is good to see. However, it falls short in real-world performance compared to the Garmin Varia, and the issue with the detection on curved roads, the inconsistent vehicle tracking, and the frequent disconnection when paired with the Trek app are areas that needs to be addressed. And I do not believe the detection issue is something that can be addressed with a firmware update. Sounds like a hardware thing to me. And for a safety device like this, I think it is important to get it right and reliable out of the box if you are going to sell it. But for now, my trusted Garmin Varia RTL 515 remains my go-to choice when riding outside, and it is about $50 cheaper right now, so it is a no-brainer. There you have it, folks. Hopefully this is helpful. Feel free to share this video with others in your life, and do not forget to tap that like button. And if you are still watching but have not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.